The distress beacon was faint, almost lost in the cosmic noise of the Theta sector. When the Galactic Rescue Corps corvette Mercy's light finally triangulated the signal, they found the wreckage of a human exploration vessel scattered across a barren moon designated only as LX-447. Life signs? Captain Vexari asked, her hope minimal. The crash site was 3 weeks old. Impossible to determine from orbit, her scanner officer replied. Interference from the moon's magnetic field. But Captain, no one survives 3 weeks on LX-447. The environment is barely survivable for even a day. Vexari had reviewed the moon's data, temperatures that swung from -60 to +70 Celsius daily, an atmosphere with barely breathable oxygen levels, radiation exposure above safe limits, and native microorganisms hostile to most carbon-based life. It was, by any reasonable assessment, a death sentence. They landed anyway. Rescue protocols demanded it. The away team found the main hull section first, a twisted mass of metal half buried in rust-colored sand. Vexari's medical officer, Dr. Threnal, scanned for remains, expecting to catalog casualties for the official report. Instead, his scanner chirped positive for life signs. Contact, he shouted. Multiple life signs, approximately 2 kilometers northeast. They found the survivors in a cave system, and what Vexari saw made her question her understanding of biology. 5 humans, alive. Not just alive, functioning. They had erected a makeshift shelter using debris from their ship. A water collection system crafted from salvaged metal caught condensation. A fire, an actual combustion fire, burned at the cave entrance, somehow fueled by native plant matter that should have been toxic. The expedition leader, Dr. Sarah Chen, looked up from where she was applying a bandage to a crewmate's arm. She was gaunt, sunburned, and covered in improvised wound dressings, but she smiled. "Oh, thank God," she said. "We've been waiting for you." Dr. Threnal immediately began medical scans, and his instruments practically shrieked with alarm. "Captain, these readings, this human has a partially collapsed lung, 3 fractured ribs, and signs of severe infection. He should be in critical condition, possibly comatose." The human in question, James Rodriguez, waved weakly from his makeshift bed. "It's not that bad. Sarah's been giving me antibiotics from the first aid kit." "Antibiotics?" Threnal examined the small white case Sarah handed him. "This is a basic medical kit. It contains simple wound dressings, basic painkillers, and rudimentary bacterial treatment. These supplies should have been exhausted in the first 3 days. We rationed," Sarah explained simply. "And supplemented with local resources." Over the next hour, as the rescue team stabilized the survivors for transport, they uncovered the full extent of human stubbornness masquerading as survival instinct. Engineer Marcus Liu had suffered severe burns during the crash. He'd treated them with a paste made from cave minerals and native plant oils, a combination that, according to Threnal's analysis, should have been either inert or toxic. Somehow, it had prevented infection. "I just tried different combinations until something worked," Marcus shrugged. "Trial and error. You experimented on yourself with unknown alien substances?" Vexari asked, horrified. "Well, I was going to die anyway from infection. Figured I'd try to not do that." Pilot Jennifer Park had sustained a compound fracture to her leg. She'd set it herself using metal strips from the wreckage and walked on it for 3 weeks. "It hurt," she admitted, "but we needed to gather water daily. Sitting still wasn't an option." Dr. Threnal's medical scanner indicated the bone had already begun healing, incorrectly, and in a way that would require re-breaking and proper setting, but healing nonetheless. "This should be impossible. The pain alone should have rendered you immobile." Jennifer looked genuinely confused. "I mean, yeah, it hurt. But what else was I supposed to do?" The youngest survivor, technician David Okonkwo, had developed radiation sickness in the 2nd week. The first aid kit contained no radiation treatment. Instead, Sarah had created a shelter deeper in the cave system where natural rock provided shielding, and had kept David hydrated with purified water. "You just waited for his body to recover?" Vexari asked. "His symptoms were improving," Sarah replied. "The human body can handle a surprising amount of radiation exposure if you support it properly." As they transported the survivors back to the Mercy's Light, Vexari found herself reviewing the inventory of what the humans had salvaged: one basic first aid kit, a multi-tool, 3 emergency thermal blankets, and a portable water filter. That was it. That was all they'd had to survive 3 weeks on a moon that killed most species in days. "Captain," Dr. Threnell said quietly, reviewing his medical reports, "I need to understand something. By all medical standards, at least 3 of these humans should have died in the first week. Yet they're all alive, conscious, and according to their leader, doing pretty well, all things considered." He paused, his alien features arranged in an expression of genuine bewilderment. "How are they still alive?" Vexari thought about Sarah's smile when they'd arrived. The casual way Marcus had discussed experimenting on himself. Jennifer walking on a broken leg because sitting still wasn't an option. David surviving radiation poisoning through sheer stubbornness. "I think," she said slowly, "that humans have a different definition of survivable than the rest of us. We look at conditions and calculate survival probability. They look at the same conditions and decide whether they feel like dying that day. And if they decide not to, then apparently physics and biology are just polite suggestions." When they reached the medical bay, Sarah refused treatment until her crew was stabilized. She sat in the waiting area, exhausted but alert, still wearing her improvised bandages. "You know," she said to Vexari, "this wasn't even the worst camping trip I've been on. There was this time in Alaska." Vexari held up a hand. "Please, no more. I'm already filing a report recommending that human survival capabilities be reclassified. My understanding of biology is fragile enough." Sarah laughed, actually laughed, and Vexari realized something profound: the humans genuinely hadn't considered not surviving. It simply wasn't in their nature to quit.